There you go. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I laugh because I swear I saw that you joined exactly on our when our interview is supposed to start, but I shouldn't be surprised that you've got good timing. You are a drummer.
Yeah, that's what my wife tells me that I have good timing.
Yeah, I should bloody hope so. Whereabouts are you at the moment, Dave?
Uh,
Whereabouts are you at the moment, mate?
I am. I live near Dallas, Texas. About
Okay.
20 minutes from Dallas, Texas.
What's Dallas like?
Right now, it's beautiful. Right now, it's going to be hot as fuck in another 3 weeks. You're going to be getting 105, 102 degrees a day. Right now, we're at 85, 86, so it's pretty nice.
I feel really sorry for Peter Weller who had to film when they filmed RoboCop there. And apparently in the height of summer wearing that suit. I'm like,
No way. Fuck that. Fuck all that.
mate. So Il Nino came from Jersey, is that right?
Yes, I was raised in New Jersey. I came to the United States when I was 10 years old from Lima, Peru, and I moved to New Jersey. And I started the band in 1998 in New Jersey.
hmm all I
So
know about Jersey is like Jay and Silent Bob jokes. Like how would you describe the music scene in Jersey that Il Nino was born into?
it's a lot of hardcore. There's a lot of hardcore element for bands like Agnostic Front. Bands like Madball, Marauder, Bad Brains, Cro-Mags. So I grew up in that element, the whole hardcore scene, when I was a kid, and I think it's very real. It's very true. There's no gimmicks. Not I'm not putting down any other bands from any other coast, but East Coast bands are true to the like they're right to the point. True to their sound. They don't try to fake their sound to fit into a certain genre. They just do what they fucking do. You know,
Mm.
like it or leave it.
I now don't feel bad about this because I asked Jared Gomes from Head PE the same question. It's pretty much a full-time job keeping track of the El Nino lineup. You're the sole continuing member at this point. What motivates
I'm
you
not
to push?
actually
No,
no, I'm not the sole member. No, Lazaro Pina, my bass player, my right hand guy, he's been the bass player since Revolution, since the first release,
interesting. I thought
of
they.
course.
Okay, so he didn't go and
And
come
then
back.
also my percussionist Danny Quoto has
Hmm.
been with us since Confession since 2003. So
Yeah, yeah,
He's been in the band for 23 years.
yeah. Nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Look,
So
what?
yeah, everybody says they say that because of the kind of the split that we had
Mm,
back 5 years ago. But no, I have three key OGs in the band.
mhm. Okay. Does it? It's really interesting because obviously Il Nino was part of this huge sound. Now, for reference, and I turned 16 in 2001. I was literally your prime audience. You know what I mean? Like I was a
Fuck
new
yeah,
metal kid growing up. So
awesome.
yeah, man. You guys were huge, and it's really interesting because obviously new metal was such a potent and contemporary sound at the time. It was the new thing. And then all of a sudden, after a few years, I reckon after about 2003, I feel like attitudes towards it started to change, and then people started to pretend like that they never, like they didn't originally, they were
I
like,
would
oh
say
no,
I
I
would say
never liked it.
around 2005, bands like Lamb of God and bands were coming in, and there was a whole new wave of heavy metal that kind
Mm,
of stayed true for a little while. I think that took over and put new metal kind of on his back leg, right? But I thought new metal actually stayed up there for a little while. Now, all of a sudden, 2 years ago, you know, I mean, bands like Korn, Limp Bizkit, System of a Down are bigger now than they were when we originally came out.
and how weird is that? Limp Bizkit and you could argue. I mean, I know they've released one or two here and there, but like Limp haven't released a major album since the early 2000s. I saw them at
and
the end of
and you know what?
2023.
It is not hurting them whatsoever because they're selling out everywhere they fucking play. They're playing all the major festivals, and I mean, in kind of the, in a little bit of a lesson form, El Nino is playing all the major festivals. Last year we did all the Danny Wimmer Presents tours in the United States, doing 25, 35, 40,000 people every night.
Mm.
And then, we also in 2022 we went out and did shows with Metallica, Slipknot. Um, we opened up for many, many huge bands on a summer European tour, and
Mm.
we are heading also to another summer European tour starting August the 2nd through August 18. We
Mm.
are doing, we're doing all these. We're doing Finland, Czech Republic, Holland, Germany, Belgium. We are doing all the major festivals again, and
Yeah.
it hasn't hurt the band. Thank God. There's a whole new interest in the bands that came out during that genre for sure.
Yeah. I saw Limp Bizkit for the first time at the end of, I think it was 2023, and because I grew up in a place where they didn't tour, so I missed them when they were huge, and it blew my mind because the place was packed, completely sold out, and I'm looking around, half the crowd is in their early 20s, and I'm like, I don't mean to gatekeep, but were you people even born when when Chocolate Starfish came out? But they're
Yeah.
killing it.
I mean, dude, it's cool. It's cool to see. I mean, look, I think that all styles of music. I look at it right now. Like I have a 15-year-old daughter who's actually born in Australia. She's half Australian, half Peruvian.
No,
Um, I'm married to an Australian from the Gold Coast for 18 years now.
yeah,
Um,
right.
so you know, it doesn't. Australia to me is like it's like my home, my second home.
Mm.
I go to Australia all the time. We're there at least once a year, every year, and yeah. I mean, it's just coming to Australia for us, for me. It's a fucking joy for sure, every single time.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you in Brisbane. I am for the first time. I'm really looking forward to this, mate. This is going to be cool.
Me too, man. I like definitely. I want you to come and say hello for sure.
Yeah,
A lot of people that do interviews are like, oh, I'll see you there. Make sure you come by. You come
yeah.
backstage and you come hang out with us and say hello for sure.
Well, we try. Most of the time, it's not our fault. We normally don't get let backstage, but I'll try.
You let us know. Let us know through John Howard.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
put it together and then let them know, and then we'll get you back there with us.
I love it, man. Sounds awesome. Well, speaking of, like, how did you come to pick Adema for this tour?
We've been friends with Adema since early 2000, 2001. We did a Ozfest together in 2002. We did a lot of tours with them, and we're now with the same agent. And when the inquiry came in for El Nino to do a headlining run in Australia, they were available, and we had spoken to them. We had seen them. We just seen them in Mexico. We did a festival together with them in Mexico, Mexico City last year. And I talked to Chris Coles, the drummer. I talked to a couple of the guys, David, and they were like, "Hey, if you guys, any international tours you guys have, we would love to be part of it." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go. Why not?" And
Yeah,
so the promoter hooked it up, and I believe this is the first time that Adema's ever coming to Australia,
it's going to
which
be
is fucking
interesting, man.
it's
Yeah.
fucking cool. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
So, mate, in reading up over Il Nino's last major album was in 2014. I
Yeah.
understand, obviously, there's been a lot of back and forth about the Immortals EPs. Are they ever? At what stage is that coming out? Is that still in a bit of limbo?
Okay. Well, the Immortal EPs were supposed to come out with our former singer, Marcos Leal. We were going to release them and getting ready to release, but then we had you know, I can't say a falling out because we're cool again. Everything's cool between us. But at that time, we couldn't move forward together. We as a team. And we decided that if we put when we put those songs out, it'll be after the new release with the new record.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We don't want to water down a release by confusing the crowd with a different vocalist
Okay.
that's not no longer going to be there. Um, and a lot of people don't understand, but I mean, it's everyone can speculate and everyone has an opinion, right? But sometimes you have to do what you have to do for your craft, for your band, your craft, your project,
Hmm.
right? And El Nino is very dear to me. Like I said, I started El Nino in 1998. It's been my baby since day one.
Mm.
Um, and I can't allow damage to the band. I can't allow something to make the band not be around anymore
Mm.
because it's something it's just not in my vocabulary. You know what I mean? Um, we at that time we decided. I decided with my last singer that it was better that we both walked away. Um, uh, certain things were not what he wanted. Certain things, I guess he wanted a little more control of the band, and I mean, he was a hired singer since day one, and the control of the band is really within the OGs of the band.
Mm.
So I mean, the people that call the shots in the band are me, Laz, and Danny Cuoto. So when we speak, we have a meeting about something, and we're going to talk about something, which direction we're going to head in. I speak to the OGs,
Mm.
and everybody else in the band is amazing. Miggy, our percussionist vocalist, Jess De Hoyos, our guitar player, Sal, our other guitar player. I mean, they are fucking super key important members in this band in the sense of like they're amazing live. Their work ethic is fucking immense, and we get along like a family. There's never been a situation where we butted heads with any of those three guys ever. There's
Mm.
never been a situation where we like, oh, fuck you, or hey, no, because everybody knows their role in the band. Everybody knows where they belong. I mean, I can safely tell you, like, from my perspective, from my workmanship as a musician, right, for 39 years. I've been
Mm.
doing this for 39 years. I joined my first band that I created, a band called Gothic Slam, signed to Epic, and then after that, I've been the drummer in many other bands. I was in MOD, Method of Destruction. I did 3 records for them. Then I joined a band called Lost Rocket, signed to Capitol. Then I joined a band called Propane.
Mm.
Okay, and I did 2.5 years with them, and then I played with Soulfly for a little bit for a short stint, and we did the Haybreed tour together, and then we did a couple of dates with Iron Maiden
Mm.
together, and you know, it was always, to my understanding, it's like, hey, I joined your band.
Mm.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to give you my 2 cents because I'm sure you don't give a fuck about my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I'm just being
An
straight
interesting dynamic. Yeah.
straight honest. It's like you don't go to a company and you don't join Microsoft, or you don't join a big corporation or a band. You don't join Rage Against the Machine as a
Mm.
new guy and say, oh well, I want to have my say,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's not the way it works. You know what I mean? So I think there was a little bit of a confusion and a kind of a little bit of tug of war, where in the beginning with Marcos Leal, it was everything was peachy and everything was great, and then it started to become into, he wanted a little more control of the band, and I understand what he wanted, and we went together, we played together as long as we could play together before it became a problem,
Mm.
and not too long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, we squashed it out. I got a call from him, and we spoke about everything, and we talked about how things, what happened, and he regretted the way that he acted towards the band, and you know, let bygones be bygones. I don't hold any anger or any disrespect towards anybody. I'm a respectful guy. You know, I wish him the best, and we're now working on becoming friends and being friends again.
Nice. That's beautiful, man. And honestly, that's a postscript that you don't often hear. You only ever hear about when relationships are damaged and when people pull apart. But you very rarely, I feel like it's rare in this scene that you actually hear about people coming back together, even if they're not necessarily working together anymore.
I'll give you something very rare.
Yeah,
There was a very bitter battle between my three ex members and my original singer, Christian Machado, 5 years ago.
yeah.
Well, I'm pleased to say that Christian and I are friends again, and we hashed it out about 6 months ago. I mean, I'm on a new rampage personally. I don't want any negativity in my life. I just don't. On a spiritual level, I'm trying to be a better person in the sense of I want positivity. I want my family and friends to be in my smaller circle, and that's all I want. And so I reached out to him about 6 months ago, and we talked, and everything was cool. And then about a month and a half, 2 months ago, actually longer, in December, I want to say, his band, Lines at the Gate, was coming to Texas. And I texted him and I said, "Hey, let's meet up." He said, "Absolutely, let's go." And I went to the show and I hung out with him and we talked, and we both were, like, "Hey, this sucks the way this shit happened. We both should have never let it allow it to happen that way. We should have sat down and talked as friends, and we didn't. And we both regretted it. We both were like, it sucks. It sucks that it happened and the way it happened."
Yeah.
And that's it. And now we're in a good situation where, I went to tell him, like, "Hey, I want everything to be fucking great between us, and I want no negativity." And he was like, "Dude, I wish you nothing but the best." He goes, "You're doing a great job with El Nino right now." And he goes, "I think that, we're both happy and we both seem to be where we want to be." And we're like, "Fuck yeah." So we shook hands, we hugged it out, and we're all good.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So, what can you tell me about? I checked out the latest single, "Beast Inside." So, is this representative of an album that you're working on?
It's among those lines. It's definitely a heavier version of Revolution Confession. The new record is going to be fucking just hits after hits. I mean, we've been working on it for a little while. We've involved a lot of key people, key producers, and to work with us. And the record, the songs on the album right now that we have put together to record, which we start recording next week, by the way. They're fucking sick. They're sick as fuck. Like, I could not be prouder of anything that I've ever put out in my entire fucking career. The shit is fucking heavy as fuck, but it smells and it feels like El Nino 1000%.
I love it, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so we're psyched, man. We're going to be dropping, a single very soon in the next 6 weeks, and we're going to drop a new video. And next week we will announce a signing to a record label, that big fucking label, distributed to a major label as well. And yeah, we can't wait. We can't wait to bring the fucking heat, man. We have a lot of touring coming up. Like I said, we have America July 2nd to August 2nd. Then we fly to Europe on August 3rd, and we're there doing all the major festivals. We have 6 major festivals and 3 headline shows. Then we fly home, and then we fly to New Zealand in September, and Australia, obviously, right after New Zealand. And then we are coming home literally for 2 weeks, and then we're back out to South America and Mexico doing a 2.5-week stint, all theater tour for us, the headline theater tour. It's one of our biggest markets in South America and Mexico. Yeah, and then it's fucking on, man. We're gonna be touring like a motherfucker and getting a lot of shit done, obviously.
I love it, dude. Right, this has been rad. I pinch myself that I've spoken to a member of almost every single new metal band that that I was pumping in 2001. It's
Oh, yeah,
just
dude,
so
that's
weird to
awesome.
me.
That's sick.
So
That's badass.
it's fucking great, man. Look, I love this. Mate, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Brisbane for the first time.
Dude, get ready because we're bringing an incredible show with an incredible new singer, which it's going to be announced in the next couple of weeks. Um, and we're going to be showing clips of the new singer singing some of the classics so they can see how fucking insane his voice is. And yeah, man, we can't wait. We're going to be bringing some fucking heat, bringing Adema with us, like I said. And this is the most production that El Nino has ever brought to Australia. So expect some fucking killer production as well.
Nice, man. I can't wait. Awesome,
But
dude. Thank you very
thank you
much for
so
your
much.
time today, Dave.
I appreciate you, man. Take care.